thank everyone for showing up today. My name is Princess Malcolm. This is Social Media 101. We're going to be talking today about protecting your privacy in the social media world, identity theft, and precautions. Now, I'm going to share with you a brief, quick story about one of my friends last year who got robbed around November 11th of 2012. She decided to take a quick vacation trip. Her cousin was staying with her at the time. You know how it is with Facebook. She decided to post, oh, she's going on a vacation. What happened that weekend was boys in the neighborhood robbed and went into her house, took from laptop, her work laptop, flat screen TVs, jewelry, everybody in the neighborhood, nobody saw anything. So what does that tell you? Don't ever put anything on any type of social media website of where you're going to go, what you're doing, or who you're with. Now on WallStreetJournal.com, it says about 12 million Americans got hit by identity fraud in 2011. A 13% increase from a year earlier thanks to consumer growing, social media, website, and smartphones. Everybody nowadays owns a smartphone. So going on to beforeitnews.com, it says that the most popular type of scams nowadays involves using the identity of known well personalities. There are websites out there with, for example, Dr. Oz, well known, and they're trying to scam people into buying products with his name, but of course it's not founded by Dr. Oz. Also creating phone accounts with their names. Also, usually a high-profile minister, pastor, or well-known evangelist trying to scam different people into donating or giving out any kind of monetary donation. So let's talk about, and let's just do a brief sneak peek of what I'm going to be discussing today. We're going to talk about how we're victims of social media, what can we do to prevent this from happening, and of course the consequences about not taking actions, not being careful, or doing anything about it. So, how do we become victims of social media? Definitely, we are not setting high security settings on our accounts. Another thing is we're using home addresses or locations of either before or after places we've lived. Birth date and birthplace. Do not disclose your birth date fully. You could always use your month and date of birth. Do not put your year. Password clues. When you're putting a password on any type of social media site, none of the information that's going to be on the site itself should be linked to your password. It will just give hackers and anybody who's going to try to get your information clues of what to use to get your password. Now, accepting unfamiliar contacts or anybody you know. Just because X person knows your best friend does not mean that that's going to be your friend. So do not do that. Don't accept anybody you don't know. And phone numbers. Never put your phone number on any kind of social media site. It could tie into get into your location, where you live, even where you work, just with your phone number. So now let's take a look. Let's stop and think real quick. What can we do to prevent this? So definitely do not use any information that's not necessary on any type of website. Nobody needs to know your whole life. Only people close to you, they already know that. They don't need to go on a website to know it. Nickname. You could use a nickname, an alias, just to create a website. That way it wouldn't be linked directly to you. Create a strong password. One of the things that you could do to try and find out how to set up a website is go to identitytheftresourcecenter.com. You can take a quick brief quiz on what to do and how to set up your website. Avoid free applications to use on your profile. Definitely be careful who you accept. Do not click on what you don't know. That click is going to get you in trouble. Avoid that. And read your privacy policy and settings and security settings. Websites such as Instagram, if you read their privacy policy and their security settings, it tells you that they have the right to use your pictures for any advertising or marketing purposes without your notice. So when you're accepting their agreement, you're accepting and giving them that right to use your information. Now moving on and thinking for about 2 seconds, what are the consequences of not setting your privacy settings or being careful with any type of social media? Consequences. Okay, so false profiles created. Anybody could get your information, create a profile, an account, organization, anything, and use your name and you have no idea. Use your identity. Bank account information could be disclosed. Websites such as LinkedIn, even PayPal, stuff like that. If you're not protecting yourself, using and being cautious, they could take your money just by getting access to your bank account information. Social security number duplication. I've actually personally seen people be victims of this. And of course, they could get all your information, sell it to a criminal, any corporation, any organization. All of a sudden, you're getting calls, letters, and you have no idea why. Please make sure you visit justice.gov, and it has a lot of information, true stories, how to take precautions, and organizations who would help you and be more aware of how to protect your identity. And last but not least, just a brief summary and a recap of what we discussed today. Definitely, how are we victims of social media? What can we do to prevent it? And the consequences of not taking action. Remember, your information, when it's out there, what you're putting out to the public, anybody could use it. What you put out there is what you want them to see. Remember, only you have the power to protect yourself, and at times we forget we are our own worst enemy. Thank you.